So immediately after I quit, I played a professional league, indoor volleyball professional league in my country.
So did you play in high school? Did you play in college, university?
I started really late.
Okay, how old were you?
18.
You started 18?
Like the first time I touched the ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I started and I was a college student. So I wasn't a college, like a student athlete, I was just a student. And I started playing like in the amateur games, like near my house, you know, like everybody sucked.
Yeah.
But I was so passionate about playing a sport because at that time I played basketball, but I failed at it. But I wanted to play the sport so bad, so I was really told. And well, I got out of college, and when I was like 20, right after I graduated, I started playing at high level.
Okay.
But I still had that, should I work or should I play? You know?
We've got a question from, because we want to tackle this, but we got a question from one of our fans, followers, friends, that talks about exactly that. Like, how are you, when you're chasing the pro like volleyball dream, how do you balance working, finding money, and deciding like when is when to either quit or stop, or how much do you dedicate to work, how much do you get to take to volleyball? So I don't want to interrupt that, but maybe if you can steer it that way.
Yeah, it's really hard because, for example, back home, baseball is like a religion, okay? Like, best baseball players, like in the MLB here, most of them are Venezuelans.
I thought they were all Dominicans.
Two.
Yeah.
It's those two countries are like the best, you know?
I didn't know that about Venezuela, actually.
Yeah, man.
Baseball's the...
Probably,
the
you know who
bee's
Altuve is? The small guy, Altuve?
I wish I paid attention to sports as an athlete. But I'm an athlete and I like love playing all sports. I know, but I don't pay attention
like
to
only
anything.
Two baseball players, I think, have won the Triple Crown. Like best home run average, and I think there's another like hits.
Okay.
And one of them is Venezuela.
I did not know that. There you go. Trivia. We can post a trivia question after this. That's content.
So back home, if you play baseball and you're a pro, you're like, go for it, you know. But volleyball, man, you cannot. I mean, it's hard to like have a future, find economically playing volleyball, just playing volleyball. So obviously, there's gonna be concerns, and I had those concerns. That's why I worked for 4 years just to like, should I every day, like should I. And at the end of the day, there was something like in me that needed to do it, you know, and forget about everything, like fuck everything else. I'm just gonna do this.
What's your favorite part about playing? Is it competition? Is it needing to beat somebody? Is it being physical? Is it using your body, being in front of a lot of people and providing a show? Because I know like a lot of athletes. There was this one podcast, I think it was Joe Rogan, who was interviewing a coach, and he said there are all these different types of athletes and you have to train them differently.
Right.
And that coach, who is like one of the most popular UFC coaches, he said there are artists, I'm probably screwing this up, but they're headbang or like warriors, and there are 4 types of athletes, and he said like the artists are the ones that like you just need to let them create, and if you try to lock them into a certain technique or really like put them in a straight line, they're mentally and emotionally not going to succeed. Then you have like the warrior, who if you tell this guy to go and bang his head against a wall for 30 minutes, that's what he will do, and he will do it as hard as he can. And there are 2 more that I'm forgetting now, but what do you get out of beach volleyball, out of competing? What did you get? Why did you want to?
So I'm definitely a warrior, definitely, because I had to learn this or almost by myself. Like to get it to a high level, I never had coached. I never had a pro player. That's most of the reason why I do everything. All this is because I needed so much this content that I'm producing now at my moment, because I just learned by myself, like the whole sport, the whole jumping, everything I just did by myself. So I'm definitely a warrior, because I'm there because I probably work harder than the rest. Okay. But to the other question, what do I get from this?
Just from the competing part, like just
right from the competing part,
not from what you're doing now.
Yeah,
from the competing part.
Definitely. To me, is the environment. At the end of the day, after you've played a lot, if it's what involves to be around a team, you know.
It's team for you.
Yeah. For me, it's
even in beach,
because it's your part. It's stronger in beach because it's your partner. You have to create such a relationship, and you learn so much from that, even for your couple,
Yeah,
right?
I'm learning couple stuff.
So I've been in team, like really great teams.
Yep.
Like all the players are so good.
Yeah.
But we don't get along, and I'm like out. I prefer playing in a good environment, in a place that I feel like all of the guys are my brothers.
Yeah.
And not be the best team. I prefer that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why that interaction, that team building, that feeling of knowing that everybody's working for each other. That's what I get the most at the end of the day. So what's yours?
I don't know. I'll just play off of yours for a second, but I started pretty late. Similarly, like I think we have a pretty similar story. I played one season of indoor volleyball in high school. It was this whole dramatic fiasco where we had. I was a good baseball player. I was a good football player, and in the U.S. college scholarships, like kids feel a lot of pressure about that because it's expensive. Do you guys have to pay for education in Venezuela?
Some the big ones, no.
Okay, so you have you have public and private.
Yep.
Okay.
And the privates are not as expensive as they are here.
Okay. So you felt some ego pressure because like if you're a scholarship athlete, you feel good, and then there's that little idea of, man, I could help my parents here. That's a big thing. I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. So a couple things happened. When I was playing baseball, I didn't feel as much camaraderie as I wanted to, and I started hanging out with some of the volleyball guys, and there was that camaraderie. Like I felt
that happens a lot.
Appreciated.
From baseball to volleyball, there's a lot of guys that play baseball and didn't got that, and they didn't have anything else to do, so they play volleyball. Now they're huge players.
I think I don't think that's a baseball versus volleyball thing. I think it comes from an individual, somebody who it can go both ways. You could be in volleyball and you experience two teams where you're just like you don't really fit in, or that's not exactly your type of people because you've had those two experiences. So you still want to be physical, and you go to another place and it's like, oh, this group of 5 people you absolutely love, and you would have beers with, and you would get into fights with, and you'd have their back, and they would have yours, and you know that. And I think I found more of that with my in high school. But anyway, that was like 1 year, and I got hurt halfway through the season, and then the next year when I came back, all of the seniors that I really fell in love with and that worked hard and embraced the workouts, nobody the next year wanted to do the extra workouts that I was organizing. Somebody instilled in me at some point, maybe it was my brothers and my parents, but work your ass off. That is the only thing that's important. Put the work in, no excuses, and go for it. And I've got a high endurance for pain, and so I would go through that, and I found myself on a team where nobody else was willing to go through that. And so I said, all right, senior year, my last year of high school, I'm going back to baseball. Because I was the second best player in the league in New York volleyball indoor. There's like no skill there. Like, if you could tie your shoes, you might be the top player in New York City.
Let me tell you this story before you go on. Sorry to interrupt. First time I played volleyball, actually, to touch a ball, was here in the States.
What?
Guess where?
New York?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, that's where...
It's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's where it got invented.
Yeah.
Right?
Holyoke, Massachusetts. That's some trivia for you.
I came to the United States to become... This is a funny story. You're not gonna believe this. Like, in my country is baseball, maybe football religion. I'm in love with American football. Like, that's the sport I watch. That's the only sport I'm a fan.
That's awesome.
And that I follow. So my dream, you know, I'm like, I have to go to my parents, you know, I have to go to the United States because
I'm gonna be a tight end for
no,
Tom
because
Brady.
I have to learn English. Because if I say I want to be a wide receiver, they'll be like, no, bro, you're not gonna make it.
Really?
So I'm like, I need to learn the language. It's very important to speak English. Actually, it's very important
In order to be a receiver.
Yeah, so that's what my excuse. So I arrived, I arrived to the high school, and I'm like, I'm gonna be the best. I remember like playing by myself because nobody back home knows how to throw a ball, know the rules, know nothing, man, like nothing. I think I'm the only Venezuelan guy that watched the NFL, man, like literally. So I'm with my ball, running all day with my ball, like back home, throwing it in the air and catching it. Like I arrived here and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna make the team. And the team was like,
You came here for high school?
Yeah, like
what?
The last year of high school. Yeah, I did the last year of high school here, in the States.
Because of football, or because you're doing an exchange program?
No, because of an exchange program.
Okay, but like you knew that you wanted to do football.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a duel. All right.
Yeah. So I look up to the, so I look up. I mean, I was 17, man.
Yeah.
We just, if we're stupid now, imagine at 17 years old. So I just look for the best high school, like in the region, so I can go there. The best football program. So I arrive and the team is already like built up because they play in the fall and they're like, training. They're all like beasts, man, like so high. And I wasn't like when I was 17, I was really small because I haven't developed like physically. The coach told me like, do you know the playbook? What's that? He's like, you're not allowed to do this. So I'm like, shit. So what am I gonna do now? My dream is done. I'm fucked. And when I've played basketball, so I might as well play basketball.
Sure.
So I wait the winter, and the basketball coach told me that maybe that's why I'm so obsessed about jumping. He's like, dunk the ball. So if I didn't dunk the ball, I was not gonna make the team.
What?
So I've never dunked the ball in my life. I'm like, that shit, I'll try. We'll see what happens. And I'm like, bang. So I didn't make the basketball team.
Oh man.
So I'm like so frustrated.
Yeah.
And in the spring, I've never played baseball. Ironically, never. I'm like, fuck. And then this like in my country in that school, like Asian dudes were the ones that played volleyball. Don't know why. So one kid just comes like.
It's really similar in New York. In New York, a lot of like at least in the public schools.
Like.
Yeah.
We were like 6 and 4 were Asians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. So this guy is asked me, do you want to play volleyball? I'm like, well, what the hell, man? Yeah, at least so just make a team. And I make like the best player that team that year. So
I found you.
It was pretty weird how it all started. Yeah.
Weird route.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I ended up being a pro player, so.
Right? We have like probably all the tens of people watching right now.
Our late show.
they, you hear volleyball is like a sport that you start really late. So many people start really late, and they really stress out about that they started too late, and that it was too far gone, and they get stressed. I think that's part of the beauty of like beach volleyball, is that you can find it late, and there's places and levels and leagues and tournaments constantly available. I know this exists in other sports. I know that tennis has like ratings and tournaments and everything, and there's social activity, but I do love beach volleyball because it doesn't crush your joints. Your back is fine, your knees are fine, you're not going to rock yourself, but so many people find it late, and I think compared to a lot of the players that I work with every day here in California, is that we found it kind of early. If we start playing at 18, 19, there's a lot of people that start in their 20s. One of the best players in the world right now, Brian Doherty, didn't play volleyball until he was 26, 27, something like that. Yeah. Granted, everybody tries to take away his success because he's tall.
Yeah, so tall, man.
You know what? You're a world tour player. There's a ton of tall people that aren't doing anything with their body, and he's become a really scary beach volleyball player. Like, it's not fun to play against him, and he's got ball control, and he can set, and he played with John Hayden, and you need to be able to be agile and set fast and accurate to play with Hayden. So I think, if you're listening and worried that like it's too late for you, there's some age gap, it's not about that at all. Yeah. What I subscribe to by starting late, and maybe you did the same, I looked at the math. My logical mind switched on, and I said, okay, if they started playing 4 years before me, and their practice, maybe they practiced twice a week for 6 months for those 4 years. So we'll say 2 times 25, 50 times 4. So 200. So they had 400 more hours than I have at this point. Fine. I'm going to catch up. Right. Because all it is to me is hours. It's not time.
It's all about work. Yeah.
It's about hours. If I put in 4 hours today, I've put in more volleyball reps than this person